Think your job is bad? Maybe your boss sends emails at midnight. Maybe your meetings could have been a message. Maybe you've spent an entire day staring at a screen wondering why you're even there. But no matter how frustrating your job feels, at least you don't spend your day washing clothes in urine, or helping a king in the bathroom, or digging up graves in the middle of the night. Because throughout history, some of the strangest, dirtiest, and most dangerous jobs imaginable didn't just exist, they made people rich. Today, we're counting down 6 historical jobs that were absolutely terrible, but paid surprisingly well. Let's begin. Job 1. The Roman Fullon. Our first stop takes us back nearly 2,000 years, to ancient Rome. The Romans were obsessed with appearance. A bright white toga wasn't just clothing, it was a symbol of wealth, status, and respectability. The cleaner your toga looked, the more important you appeared. There was just one problem. Modern detergent didn't exist. No washing powder, no bleach, no stain remover. So how did Romans keep their clothes sparkling white? The answer is something you definitely wouldn't find in a modern laundry room. Human urine. Yes, really. Public collection pots were placed throughout Roman cities. People would contribute to them every day. The urine was then collected and sold to laundries. As disgusting as that sounds, urine contains ammonia, and ammonia is excellent at removing stains and grease. That created one of the strangest professions in Roman history. Job 2. The Groom of the Stool. Now let's travel to Tudor England and meet a man with perhaps the strangest job title in royal history, the Groom of the Stool. If you're wondering what that means, you're not alone. Referred to the king's personal toilet. And yes, part of the groom's job involved assisting the king during bathroom visits. That sounds like the worst career in history, but appearances can be deceiving, because this wasn't some low-ranking servant. In fact, it became one of the most powerful positions in the kingdom. Kings trusted very few people, but the groom was present during private moments when almost nobody else had access. He heard conversations, learned secrets, saw political decisions being discussed behind closed doors. While noblemen fought for a few minutes with the king, many grooms became trusted advisors. Some gained enormous influence at court. Others accumulated wealth, land, and political power. It turns out that being close to the king could be worth a fortune, even if the reason was incredibly awkward. Job 3. The Resurrectionist. Our third job takes us into the shadows. Literally. Welcome to Britain during the 1700s and early 1800s. Medical science was advancing rapidly. Doctors wanted to study human anatomy. Medical schools needed bodies. Lots of them. But there was a problem. The law allowed very few corpses to be used for research. Demand was high. Supply was low. And whenever that happens, someone finds a business opportunity. Enter the Resurrectionists. Professional grave robbers. They waited until darkness covered the cemetery. Then they dug up freshly buried bodies and secretly sold them to medical schools. The work was risky. Watchmen patrolled cemeteries. Angry mobs hunted body snatchers. If caught, resurrectionists could face severe punishment. But the profits were extraordinary. One successful night could earn more money than many laborers made in an entire month. The trade became so profitable that some criminals even turned murder into a business. The infamous Burke and Hare murders shocked Britain and eventually led to major legal reforms. For a brief period in history, digging up graves became one of the most lucrative illegal businesses around. Job 4. The Sin Eater. Now let's move to one of the strangest spiritual jobs ever recorded, the Sin Eater. For centuries, parts of Wales and England practiced a bizarre funeral tradition. When someone died, a piece of bread would be placed on the body. People believed the bread absorbed the dead person's sins. Then, a sin eater was hired. His job was simple: eat the bread, take the sins, get paid. According to local belief, by consuming the bread, the sin eater accepted the spiritual burden of the deceased and allowed their soul to enter the afterlife in peace. It sounds unbelievable today, but many communities took the practice seriously. The job came with a price. People feared sin eaters. Many were treated as social outcasts. Villagers avoided them. Children were warned about them. Despite performing an important role, they were rarely respected. Yet families continued hiring them. Because when people fear the unknown, they are often willing to pay for peace of mind. Job 5. The Royal Food Taster. Imagine sitting down for dinner and not knowing if the next bite might kill you. That was everyday life for a royal food taster. Throughout history, kings, emperors, and nobles constantly feared poisoning. Political rivals, family members, foreign enemies, anyone could be a threat. The solution was simple: make somebody else eat first. Before a ruler touched a meal, the food taster sampled it. Then everyone waited. If the taster survived, the king could eat safely. Food tasters often enjoyed access to royal courts, comfortable lifestyles, and respectable salaries. But every meal carried risk. Most days, nothing happened. But all it took was one successful poison attempt, and your career was over forever, quite literally. Job 6. The Gong Farmer. And finally, we arrive at what might be the foulest job on this list: the Gong Farmer. In medieval England, toilets didn't connect to modern sewage systems. Instead, waste collected inside large underground pits called cesspits. Eventually, those pits filled up, and somebody had to empty them. That somebody was the Gong Farmer. These workers operated mostly at night. They climbed into cesspits, shoveled out human waste, loaded it into carts, then hauled it away from the city. The smell was unbearable. The working conditions were horrific, and toxic gases could kill workers without warning. Yet despite the dangers, Gong Farmers earned surprisingly good wages. Few people wanted the job. Cities desperately needed the service. And unpleasant work often pays well when nobody else wants to do it. If you've ever complained about taking out the trash, just remember, someone once climbed into a giant medieval toilet for a living. So what have we learned from history? That the past was not clean, safe, or comfortable. Here's the strange truth. All of these jobs existed for one reason: society needed them. And when something is necessary, even the most disgusting, dangerous, and humiliating work becomes valuable. Sometimes the worst jobs in history were also the best paid. So now I want to ask you, if you had no choice, which one would you take? The Roman Fullon, the Groom of the Stool, the Resurrectionist, the Sin Eater, the Royal Food Taster, or the Gong Farmer? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through history's strangest jobs, subscribe for more weird history stories you were never taught in school.